I'm going to be sharing 3 cards from Hero Art's July 2026 My Monthly Superhero Card Kit. Hey everyone, it's Joy and welcome to my channel. Okay, so we're going to be starting with the kit here. We have the When Life Gives You Lemon Stamp and Cut, the Arch Tiles Embossing Folder, Let's Ride die set, the Citrus Shaker die set, and then we have our cardstock here. We have 1 sheet of each: beeswax, saffron, Tuscan, peridot, rainforest, fern, mint, breeze Malibu, and oceanside. And then for the My Monthly Superhero, you get the Squeeze the Day Stamp and Cut, the Arch Tiles Stamp Set, and the Citrus Frame Die Set. So I'm making 3 cards. I will be using products from the whole shebang. So let's get started. So we've got that gorgeous Oceanside cardstock with that embossing folder, the Arch Tiles embossing folder. I thought this would be a gorgeous background to have some lemons. I'm going to use some of Hero Art's Unicorn White ink just to highlight the beautiful embossing. So we're going to create our shaker card. There's 2 lemons here. I'm going to do one of the lemons as a shaker and the other one as a solid image on the background. So I'm going to glue my acetate to that. Now, I should have die cut one more frame because my shaker bits weren't moving as much as I'd like. And every once in a while I do that to myself. I think, no, this is thick enough, and it just was not. This might be 80-pound cardstock or 100-pound cardstock, but I needed to have, I think I have 4 here. I needed to have 5 layers because it's not as super thick. If you have a super thick cardstock, you could get away with 3 or 4 layers. So, you know, live and learn. It still is darling. I still love it. It just didn't move around as much as I'd like. So there's the top part of our shaker. How cute is that for that lemon? And so then we have some little lemon pieces, little lemon wedges. I've die cut, of course, from all of the cardstock in here. I will let you know if I brought in other cardstock, but so far I used what I have from the kit. I put in the little flowers of white cardstock. Obviously that was not in the kit, but look at how cute our little shaker is. Oh my goodness, I love it. And then we have some of this detail pieces here, which I love in this die set. So this is my first official month doing Hero Arts club kits, and I'm super excited to be sharing this with you guys. So on that same gorgeous blue cardstock, I am using the Squeeze the Day stamp set from the My Monthly Superhero kit. You can either get the My Monthly Hero or you can get the My Monthly Superhero. So in the My Monthly Superhero, you get everything in the My Monthly Hero plus those extra things. So I prepped that with a powder tool. I am using VersaMark clear embossing ink and then white embossing powder. I thought the white would just be gorgeous against that gorgeous dark blue, the pop of yellow. I love this card. It turned out so pretty. And then I'm heating that with my heat tool until it is nice and shiny and melted. I let that cool down for a second, and then I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. Let's add some foam adhesive behind that. I'm going to put it in the top left corner, and then I can build the rest of my card around this. But it's a gorgeous big sentiment. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. And then let's add the leaves. I wanted to finish adding the leaves once I knew exactly how this was going to be laid out. And I do have my sentiment popped up pretty good with 2mm foam adhesive. And so this lemon will just be kind of tucked right, just barely underneath the edge there. And then the shaker one will be on top. And we have some extra white flowers. I'm going to add some, it's called orange creamsicle pops of color to the centers of the flowers. But I thought that would just kind of be pretty all over the back. And then we have some of those tiny flowers I'm also going to add in a few places that I put inside of the shaker. So let's put a few of those around. I like to lay my stuff out first before I glue it down because I just don't know. So if I just start adding random dots of glue, I probably will end up not loving it. So like those last 2 flowers, I don't like where they're at, so I am gonna not use those there. But I do like them. I do like them around everywhere else. So that one is so cute, and see all the shaker stuff is moving around, but then it stops moving around. So I did need to go a little bit thicker. Let me add those dots with that pops of color to the centers of the flowers, and then we can go on to our next card. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, so I am going to be using When Life Gives You Lemons stamp set. So this definitely has an Italian feel. You've got windows, you've got a lemon tree, a chair, a couple chairs, a table. And I'm going to use the Let's Ride die set on this. So I am using Lost Shadow on white cardstock. I want to create this like it's a sketch in the background of this cute little Italian town, and you have this beautiful Italian woman riding her little Vespa through the town with a basket of lemons. So it may not make perfect sense on the background, but it does when it's done. So she's the thing that's going to be just super colorful, but the stamp set is really important on this background because it just kind of looks like a sketch. So that is my whole plan. If you're like, Joy, what the heck are you doing? That's what I'm doing. And I love how it turns out. So I'm going to show you some masking here in a second. So you see that I stamped the little basket of lemons. I'm going to mask that off in a second. Really super simple to put the table underneath it because this is just all one layer stamping. I'm not using the die cuts for this. If you're using die cuts, obviously you don't have to mask anything. So let me stamp that same image on some double-sided tape, low tack double-sided tape. And then I'm just going to trim around the bottom because that's the only place I'm going to be stamping. And I'm going to place this down on top of my already stamped basket of lemons, following the lines there. Then I'm going to bring in that table, line it up where it looks like the basket will be sitting on the table, and I'm going to stamp that just the same. Then I can remove the mask and look at that. Super simple. Super simple masking. It only needed in that area. You can see that I added the other windows at the top and the shutters. We have that lemon tree. It is gorgeous. So we are done with that. Let's put this fun die together. We have our darling Vespa. I'm using the mint cardstock. Now for her, I did bring in other cardstocks. I am using Fawn, Alabaster, Wild Berry, Sicily, and Coral. Oh, and this gray. This is Anchor. I forgot to bring that in, or I forgot to mention that. And of course, black for the tire. So we have Fawn for her skin. We're going to use black for her hair. She's got this cute ponytail. She's going to be wearing this darling hat. I have die cut that from Alabaster along with the basket. She's going to be carrying a basket of lemons. Now this also has a sidecar and also has a cat, which is so cute. But I just wanted her to be on this super simple. Her Sicily colored eyeglasses, which is a perfect color. I had to use it for this card because this feels so Italian to me. She's got these beautiful eyelashes that we're going to put on. And this really pretty dress that is going to be a coral color and that gorgeous oceanside color that came in the kit. She's got some beautiful pink lips. She's got that beautiful scarf that's going to be flowing in the wind. So let's get all this put together. We're going to get her shirt on. And we're going to add the details with that oceanside cardstock. So her collar and to her sleeves. And I wanted her scarf to match. She's a classy girl. So let's put our little part that wraps around the neck. And then again, this is going to be flowing because she is riding along. And then that's her skirt. So you're going to add everything behind her little Vespa here, her little scooter. I'm going to add 1mm foam adhesive to give a little bit of distance and dimension between her body and her Vespa. Oh my gosh, I just think she's so cute. I just think this die set is so cute. So in the sidecar, you could put your basket of lemons, you could put your cat and then your basket of lemons, but I wanted her basket of lemons just to be hanging on her handlebar. Like she's just going for this nice little stroll, picking up her gorgeous lemons. Got to put her hands on there. How cute is she? Oh my goodness. She is ready for an adventure. Okay, here's our basket. We're going to fill it up with some lemons. This is die cut from Alabaster as well. So let me pop that in place. It has all this pretty detail. So you could make this basket any color you want it, obviously. And then let me tuck 3 lemons in here. And then I'm going to add the greenery after I get my lemons inside. I just want them to stand up in different directions, so it just looks like, you know, there's 4 lemons, excuse me. So they're just naturally falling in there. And then I think I do just add 3 leaves though. Yep, I do. That is perfect. A little bit of foam adhesive for that as well. And then I can just line that up to where it looks like it's hanging from her handlebar. And then we're going to adhere her to kind of the left side of this. And now you can see that she's just driving through this little town in the background. We have the sentiment from the, I think, yeah, When the Life Gives You Lemons stamp, and it says, "Thanks, friend." And that is such a cute card. I did trim it down slightly smaller and added, I think this is the Tuscan colored cardstock behind, which is perfect. Okay, let's go to our third and final card here. I have that light blue, and I'm using the Arch Tiles stamp set from the My Monthly Superhero kit. And I am using the Malibu cardstock. And I am going to be using Tumbled Glass, so kind of tone on tone here. I didn't want the background to like be loud, but I definitely wanted to see this gorgeous tile. I think it's so pretty. And I'm actually going to flip it around. I'm going to flip it upside down. This die cut piece here is the Citrus Frame die set. I have die cut that from the Rainforest cardstock. And then we can start adding all of the lemons, again, using the colored cardstock in the kit, which is really fantastic. It's always nice to get cardstock in kits, you know. But we're going to add the lemon pieces around. There's flowers, there's lemon wedges, we have leaves, we have the centers to the white flowers, and you can just see where everything goes. As far as adding extra leaves, some of them you can see where they go, other ones you can just kind of place wherever, which is kind of what I did. And it turned out beautiful. And I did that with the Fern cardstock, so you have 2 colors of the green cardstock. But let's get our flowers here. I think from far away they almost look like starfish, which I think is fun. But I mean, I love ocean and seashells and starfish, so I'm like, oh, that looks like a starfish. But they're these fun little white flowers. I'm just going to get those guys in place. And this frame is so fun. It's A2 sized. And anything that's hanging over the edge, I will trim the excess off of. And then we have the wedges that I'm just going to put a few on 3 of these lemons. And then there's the little rind piece that goes to that as well. So you get, how many pieces of yellow cardstock? You get 3, so you get beeswax, saffron, and Tuscan, which are 3 different yellows of cardstock. I used all 3 on these lemons. And then we have our flower centers here that I'm just popping into place. I'm using my Pick Pro tool. I love this tool because it has the wax sticky end, and then you have your little metal pointy end to kind of slide things in place. It is handy to have everything in like one go. Let's trim off the excess. And then for the sentiment, I did the same thing on that Malibu cardstock as I did on the first card. I did white heat embossing. And I used the Squeeze the Day Stamp and Cut from the My Monthly Superhero kit. And so we're going to place that in the center once I get done with these darker green leaves. And that just adds a little something extra. It's so pretty, those 2 colors of green. Fern, I love. It's such a great dark green color. Okay, so here's that sentiment. I'm not going to show you that again because I did it on the first card where I did white heat embossing. I'm adding some foam adhesive. I'm going to place that right in the center. How pretty is that? You are the zest. I love it. Here's our shaker card. See, I've been shaking it. My little shaker bits are kind of stuck, but we already solved that problem. And I love that it says every day is a fresh start. I think this one's my favorite. I think she's so cute. Riding her little scooter on that background, and then You Are the Zest. That frame is just fabulous. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I hope you feel inspired, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.